Welcome to Games Overboard. I'm PJ.
I'm Shanna. That's all I got.
It's just us tonight, just the two of us. Jack is away in Texas right now, and Dan, who wanted to join us, is driving back from Harrisburg, so he can't join us either.
I don't know how to be alone with you.
I know.
This feels wrong.
It is weird.
I also want to apologize that I have a cold, so I sound throatier than usual. There we go.
So today we are doing two little mini reviews.
Double the damage.
Since
you're welcome.
Since they're not really like story-based games and they're very similar to each other, we thought we would do Azul and Barenpark.
I love them both, and I think they're good games to use when you have a small group of friends and you're just chilling, kicking back, drinking a wine cooler.
Or if you want to play a game with your family over the holidays and things like that. Like, these are both very easy games to teach and to play. And games that...
Soothing.
Yeah, they're very calming.
Zen.
Very low confrontation. And just something that, like, once you play it, you immediately want to try again.
Yep. Take two, right? Like, let's go a second time. I want to do it better this time.
Yeah.
So we start with Azul?
Yes, let's start with Azul.
Well, I just want to say off the bat that when it comes to Azul, everyone we've given this game to play has wanted to play again. So we tried it with our one friend. I used to teach him at Sunday school, and now he loves the game. Then my cousin Sam, of course, loves it. So much so that she went and bought her own game. We did it with one of my friends, Sierra. Jack.
And then we bought her a copy for her birthday.
Yeah, for her birthday. She loved it. Like, everyone that we've played this game with has absolutely loved it because it's just so chill.
Laura and Ray, who you would know from Well House Exorcism, they have their own copy because we introduced them to it and they loved it. So, yeah, this is a game that just, once you play it and learn, like, once you wrap your head around the scoring guidelines, like, then the game just is very addictive and it hooks you.
So it's funny because you, like, worry about, like, the scoring. Every time we play, I do not have a game plan. I just go in having fun. And you always say...
It's the most frustrating thing.
You never believe me. I never have a game plan.
Every time we play, I have no idea what I'm doing. And
I don't.
Comes out like 20 points ahead of everyone else.
I let the board and the tiles speak to me, and I just grab them and I go, oh, look, the blues are pretty this time. I'll go with blue. Oh, there's more snowflakes. Oh, I guess I'll do snowflakes this time. There is never any rhyme or reason to my board, and you guys read way too much into it. I think that's why I do better, is because I really don't have a plan. And you're like, oh my gosh, she's getting all the yellows. This must be big.
So, first up to talk about are the components.
Let's do it. I love this right here. This bag of tiles. It just sounds so satisfying.
There are these great tiles, and they're like the size of starbursts, and some of them even look like little starburst candies.
Don't bite it. It hurts.
No.
But I like how, like, listen to that jingle. They're so cool. And they're so pretty. Like, some of them have, like, the most beautiful designs on them, too. Like, the black one has this really cool, like... It's like
aqua?
cerulean blue. No, because aqua's more greenish bright. But it's like a cerulean blue. There's like flowers and like snowflakes in there. And then you have the yellow one that has the red design on it, almost like a fleur-de-lis. And then you have the snowflake. I assume it's a snowflake. That's what I call it.
That's what we call it, yeah.
And then they have a plain one that's
a plain blue and a plain red. But
this one looks like a starburst.
Yeah, they have these great, like, shiny coatings to them, which are just...
And
so nice to look
while
at.
they're squares, they're rounded, too. They're soft, so you don't hurt yourself on them, which I appreciate.
Yeah, they're not pointy.
Because real tiles you can stab yourself with. From personal experience. And then the boards themselves, too, like, these things are thick. Like, this is not going to break on you, you know? This is a nice, thick cardboard. And soft, too. The last time we had a thing together, you were talking about how you didn't like that the tiles from Betrayal weren't soft enough. I think this is a nice little cover.
These have a very nice...
You can hear it.
Yep.
When I rub it, you can hear it.
They have a really nice texture to them. So let's actually, before we get even more into the components, let's talk about how it plays a little bit. You are picking tiles up from these small little circles that are called factories, because you are building a mosaic, and you're picking tiles up from factories, which are these little circular discs, and they're also just wonderful to look at.
I love how there's a story about some kind of mosaic and tile, and I go, I just take tiles off of round discs.
Yeah, the game tries to have a theme, and there really isn't one.
It's a beautiful concept. Like, what was like the 100th time we played? Like, oh, there's a story? Go ahead and tell me a story, PJ. I had no idea there was a story.
And it's apparently it's a true story about a king of Puerto Rico went to visit, or maybe he... I don't know.
Give me the book. I'm gonna fact check you as you tell me. Oh,
you're gonna fact check me.
I want to fact check you.
A king either went to Puerto Rico or was from Puerto Rico, went to another country. It's in the first page, and he saw the beautiful mosaics on the wall, and they're white and blue, which is why it's called Azul. Huh?
You say Puerto Rico?
No, not Puerto Rico.
Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah, that's why Sam loves it, because of her family heritage.
Yep. And he loved the white and blue mosaics, which is why it's called Azul, and he hired people to make them in his own castle, and that's who you play as, is the people like making the tiles and all that.
King Manuel I, on his visit to the Alhambra Palace in southern Spain.
Alhambra, okay.
I don't speak Spanish, so I hope I didn't butcher that.
No, yeah, that's good.
Was mesmerized by the stunning beauty of the Moorish decorative tiles. The king, awestruck by the interior beauty of the Alhambra, immediately ordered that his own palace in Portugal be decorated with similar wall tiles. Azul brings you, a tile-laying artist, to embellish the walls of the royal palace of Evora. Evora? Evora?
Yes.
Moving on. Je parle un peu de français. I do not speak Portuguese.
So, yeah, you're collecting tiles of different colors, putting them together on your own little mosaic board. And kind of like Scrabble, where when you put one down, and if it's touching others adjacent to it, you score for everything that's touching. And so if I have like a row of 3 and a column of 2, and I put one down that connects the 2 into like an L shape, then I would have 4 across and 3 up and down. And you add up everything to get like a total score.
This is where I make PJ do all the math for me.
Yeah.
I just like to make things match on my board.
So you just add up how many horizontal plus how many vertical are touching at that moment to get your points. And that's the only weird part about the scoring. Once you wrap your head around that, the game plays so nicely.
It just sounds so nice, doesn't it?
And it's just so nice to put the pieces on the board.
It's so calming too, because like it looks like a patchwork when you like put all the tiles on. Like it just looks like a really nice, beautiful quilt. Mm-hmm. So sorry, I like playing with these. Like whenever it plays out, I like just wiggling my tiles around. It just sounds nice.
There is 2 sides to the board. There's one where they tell you where to put each color. There's another one where you can make your own. And Sudoku style, you can only have 1 color tile per row and per column. So it gives you a little bit of like creativity options there, but we have never played it because we just
that's too stressful.
Yeah, it's like
it's a lot seeing all the gray. I'm like, I don't like that. Mm-hmm. I like matching the tiles where it tells me to put them.
Yep. And it comes with little black wooden cubes.
Counters.
If you've played any Euro game in the world, you know what these black wooden cubes are. And you use that to track
Lords
your
of
score.
Waterdeep is what I think of when I
Lords
see
of Waterdeep. So many games have those wooden cubes.
I mean, everything is like nicely made. Like even the bag that you put the tiles in, it's even like decorated with the tile design, and it says Azul on it.
And it's all in blue and white, just like the
original tiles. Mosaics. Yeah. And again, like really thick. Like it's very well made.
Yeah, and the box is gorgeous. Like it's all just very pleasing to look at.
I think it's very zen. Like when I see it, I see artwork and I get to chill.
Yeah. And can I have a tile? Just
no.
even the fact of...
I want to play with my tiles.
Get my own tile.
No,
then.
take my tiles.
It's like just the sound of when you're doing it, putting your tile together and just putting a tile on the board. It's just, it sounds so good, just plopping them on there and making your tile or your mosaic.
No, can we do our complaints now, or is that in a different section?
We can do that. Let's move into...
Talk about you putting the tile on there. The only thing that drives me nuts about this is that there's like no little imprint, so the tiles will stay put.
That was something I was going to ask you about, because some games like Scythe and others have dual layer boards, so there is like a small inlaid area so they wouldn't wiggle around. You can buy a clear plastic covering that goes over top so they don't move. And it's not expensive. It's like $12, I think, for a pack of 4 of them.
I mean, it is easier, like, when you're building your tiles and you get, like, that row of 5 at the bottom where you have, like, 5 tiles to get moved over. It's nice to just slough them off really fast. Like, that's nice. But, like, I think, like, the tile board itself where you put the tiles in, I wish they would just stay right there.
And the score tracker, too.
That too, yeah.
That wooden block slides so easily off its place.
Well, and the score tracker is so small, and it's like rows and rows and rows of scores.
Yeah, because it's 100 spaces for that little block to travel. And it's only about 2 inches tall. So it they use their space wisely in that board.
Now, I have a pro for this game, which you might think is a con, and people might fight me on this. I like that it's a 4-person game. I like that it's a small group. I don't... Because I feel like if you're doing this with more than 4 people, it would just be too busy. I feel like having the fact that it's only 2 to 4 players total, like, it's just so nice. Just hanging out, playing a board game, drinking some iced tea, just chilling. Like, it's just a small, eclectic kind of group.
Yeah, and any more than 4 too, when it's not your turn, I feel you'd get bored very quickly. I think that's the perfect balance for it, for sure. In terms of what doesn't work for me, really it's the thing sliding off the board. That's probably the only complaint I have, really. And the fact that the giant version is way too expensive. I want to get the giant version where one tile is like 2 square inches. It's like $300.
How much space does that take up on the floor?
I don't know.
Add to cart.
It's not enough, though.
Just add to cart now.
Yep. It comes in a briefcase. It's cool.
Add to cart, yeah.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
So what does work? Everything, really.
I think there's longevity to it, too. So, like, you're putting up money for this game, but, like, we've played this game so many times. We've taken it on beach vacations, for crying out loud. It has been the back of cars has been tossed around, and the box still looks brand new. The tiles, the board, you couldn't even tell that we have used it hundreds of times probably at this point.
That is one thing I would love if someone remade these boards with a neoprene mat, like a mouse pad.
Oh, that's true.
Because then you could roll them all up, toss them in the bag, and, because these things are essentially... You could play them outdoors. There's nothing that can blow away in the wind. And so, if the box were more portable, then this would be a great, like, beach game or something like that. I mean, we still take it to the beach anyways, but you can't take it physically onto the beach because it's just too bulky. But if you could throw everything into the tile bag, that would be
That is true, yeah.
Pun intended, game changer.
Wow. Okay. Well, everything except for the boards would fit in that Azul bag, too.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Looking at it now. And once you know the instructions, you don't have to bring the instructions with you, so. Huh. What a good idea. Look at you.
Yeah.
You're so smart.
That's right.
Anything else you want to discuss about Azul?
No, I say if your family or friends love puzzles and just getting, lining things up and getting combos on things, this is... and if you just like... quiet, calming games, this is a must-buy.
And it's funny because I like games that are competitive sometimes, but this game is just so much fun for me because there is no competition, really. It's just, let's collect, squares, and let's kind of screw our friends over by taking the wrong squares on purpose and tossing stuff in them. Because we really discussed, like, the gameplay when you're taking the tiles off of the little circles. You can only take, like, one color. So if you have a die... what are they supposed to be called? I just call them the discs, but we'll call the
quote-unquote factories.
Factories, yeah, but the discs. 4 random tiles go on there from the bag. And so you could have a double in there, like 2 reds or whatever, but you can only take one color. So if you have, like, 2 reds, a yellow, and a blue on there, you have 2 reds, the yellow and the blue would then go in the middle, because they're the excess. They're the stuff that you didn't buy or didn't use. I forget, there's a whole discussion about that in the book.
Yeah, it's, broken pieces.
Yeah,
I think it is.
It's part of the story, like that they get tossed in the middle. So I'm not going to skim for that.
Yeah.
But so then, if you want to take out of the middle, you can. But if you're the first person taking out of the middle, you get a -1. So I like that because you can really mess up your friends. Or if you have to take everything, so that can really screw them over too, because they have a lot of tiles then. So I do like that there's a little bit of competition, but it's not too bad. It's more like just fun, and like you just laugh over it. There's never any anger. Like when you're playing certain games, there's a lot of anger that can come out. Like when you're playing Catacombs, for example, or if you're playing Survive. Oh my gosh, Survive.
Survive's
that can break up friendships. But like this, it's just all in good fun the whole time.
Yeah. And some people will find that annoying because they call it like a multiplayer solo game. You know, you're doing your own little thing. You're not interacting with anyone else most of the time. There are times where your actions will affect someone else, like if you take the color that they needed
on purpose, just to be funny.
Yeah. But for the most part, you're just playing your own little game, and then at the end you compare your game scores versus other people's scores. So some people will have issues with that, but the minimal player interaction there.
See, that's what I like about it. You can get up, get a cup of tea, come back down, relax, talk to your friends, yell at your kids for being silly, go back.
Yep. So this is a good one, again, for just a calming game experience.
Yep, small get-together.
And for $25, too, it's definitely worth it.
The original, isn't there a new one, too?
There are 3 or 4.
Good Lord. All right,
there's Stained Glass, there's The Queen's Garden, and there's a 4th one. Yeah.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So we're discussing the original Azul.
Yes.
I have not played the other ones. Didn't know they existed till now. All right. Next up.
Our second game that we want to talk about is also a tile-laying game like Azul, but this one has what are they called? Polyominoes?
Ooh.
Yeah, they're not dominoes. They're, like Tetris-shaped pieces. And this game is called Barenpark. Now, gamers out there, you are very familiar with this style game. There are games like Patchwork and Feast for Odin, which is a giant $90 game, which is essentially the same thing, just
you're using
hundreds of
so
pieces.
Many words that I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm talking to the other gamers.
The real, yeah. I dabble.
Yep.
I'm a dabbler.
I'm the only one who's like headlong into the hobby. That's something we haven't really talked about. So I'm the only one who's headlong in the hobby, and I kind of drag everyone else into it.
Kicking and screaming sometimes for me, but yes.
But then you usually end up thinking...
I usually love it. When I'm forced to get off my butt and not knit or
there are only a couple
paint.
Times where it didn't work, and that was Pandemic.
I hate that game so much.
Villainous didn't really work for us. I really liked it.
It's okay, yeah.
That's another one where it's like multiplayer solo.
Which is sad because we're going off on a tangent now,
That's
but like I wanted to love it because I love Disney, and I love every princess movie that there is, but I just couldn't really get into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then what's that? Oh gosh, the island that's sinking.
Survive.
No. Obviously, no, the other one.
Forbidden Island.
That one, yeah. That one too. I just can't.
I thought you liked that one.
It's okay.
Oh,
See,
but she lies to me
then
sometimes.
You yell at me because I cheat. Like that one.
Well, okay, yeah, she cheated so hard in that game that it literally stopped. Like, the game stopped. And we didn't know what to do next because I don't even remember how, but the game stopped working. We had...
I don't know we did. We did it.
Yeah, like, there was a certain card we needed to flip over, and we couldn't because she cheated. And so the game just didn't work anymore. We had to go back a couple moves.
I regret nothing. But again, not being a crazy game boarder, looking at the wall of games behind you, I'm so proud of you because there's so many board games. And I look at them and go, oh yeah, I remember playing that game. I loved playing King Domino. I love King Domino. That one's fun. Looking at Catacombs, hello, that one's just hilarious. Dungeon Fighter, Clank, love all those. But I'm not going to come downstairs and go, I'm going to board game tonight, or I'm going to puzzle tonight like you've been for the past couple nights. I'm going to sit on the couch, I'm going to knit my sweater, or I'm going to...
Stay tuned at the end of the podcast for a quick mini review on this puzzle.
You and your puzzle. So... I do want to say you use all these big words, back to what we were talking about, and I'm so amazed with you tossing all these big words. It just makes, that's why I fell in love with you, because you're a big old nerd, you know big old words that I don't know.
Yep. So anyways, how you play Barenpark?
We're not cutting any of that, by the way. I want that complete tangent because I am so sick right now. I'm going to forget every word that I used and go, oh, wow, that was a conversation that had happened.
So, to play Barenpark, you start with a couple little tiles, and it's like a river or a hut or something like that. And all you simply do is place it on a little player board you have in front of you. And when you place it down, it will cover up an icon. And that icon tells you from what area on this main board you can take a different tile. And so if you cover an orange bulldozer, then you can take anything from the orange bulldozer pile. Or if you cover up a white cement truck, you can take anything from the white cement truck pile. And so on. And you can buy more land too, and make your bear park. You're building a park for bears.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah, you're collecting like a zoo for bears, and you can, once you completely fill a little mini square, you can get a bear statue, which is worth like a lot of points. And so
the bear statue right now. Well, and interestingly enough, like as I look at these, I don't think about the cross between the different games, but this is the exact same size as the Betrayal squares. You know,
the bigger,
a little bit bigger, but same kind of idea.
Very similar, yeah.
And you put them together like you're building that kind of park. Mm-hmm. And again, very thick, same kind of feel.
Very satisfying. All the tiles are so satisfying.
And there is texture to these. I can see the texture on here. Shout out to my weird husband.
Yeah, the really good quality tiles. Again, this is another one like Azul where you could take it outside. Like, it's not going to blow away on you because the tiles are, even though they're cardboard, they're chunky. They're not
chunky, yeah.
I
do love playing with them because they're all so different. So, like, as I flop on this table, you'll hear them all. There we go. But there's a polar bear thing here. There's panda bears here. Is this a bear pit?
I think so.
Is it a bear pit? Poor bear. Getting a bear pit. Is this a koala place? Yeah, there's koalas. Like, that's not really technically a bear. Koalas are marsupial. But moving on, you can also add in, like, French fry stands and stuff. So you can, like, it's a park. You got to have food. You got to have restrooms and stuff, right, too. So a balloon place. So I just like that there's, like, cool designs on all the little, what was the word you used?
Polyominoes.
Oh, so beautiful. Polyomino. Yep. I'm too sick for that
right now. It's an omino, but poly-sided. It's not triomino. It's not domino. It's polyomino. Because poly means many. I don't know what omino means.
We almost got to... How many years have we been married?
12.
We almost got to 13.
12. We almost got... No, we're past 12. Sorry.
Are we?
Yeah.
12 and a half?
Yeah.
This is what we got married.
We're not quite 12 and a half.
We almost got to
12
13.
and 4 months.
But then he started talking, and now that's over. But I do like that it's kind of like there's all this cool artwork on here, because you can be like, I'm going to build a polar bear place now. I'm going to have a cool little river for my polar bears. I like that. And all the artwork is just lots of fun. I wish that there was some kind of rhyme or reason, though, to the box.
Yes.
Because all the polyominoes get tossed in, and then you're looking at them like, wow, I don't know what I'm looking at. That is a hot mess.
Before my 3D printers died, I was looking into printing an insert, because there isn't one. There is no insert for this box, and there's like several dozen tiles.
It is a hot mess in there.
And there's just nothing to do with them. You just throw them into this box. And so let's talk about things that don't work.
Well, here, they can just imagine it by me doing this. It looks like a puzzle box. All the puzzle pieces are in here. That's the sound that you have. Imagine that.
That's what it sounds like, actually, yeah.
Yeah. And this is like, that is how many pieces you have. So my only complaint really then is that, like, you gotta find all your pieces.
Yeah.
And organize it all.
And because of that, setup time takes a while.
Can take a while, yeah.
The nice thing is the board tells you based on how many players, how many of each tile to put on the main board, which is really helpful. I love that. But yeah, just stacking all the tiles on the main board, and sometimes they have to be in order from, like, the highest value tiles on top, so whoever takes that tile first gets more points than whoever gets it second. So you have to make sure that not only are they stacked in the right spot, but they're stacked in order.
This is where it's important to have a husband who is obsessed with board games He does all of that for
and
you.
Slightly OCD too, so I got to make sure that they're all in the right spot
Yeah.
in order.
And so you make yourself a nice cuppa, get a popcorn going for the kids, and then you all go play this board game afterward when Daddy has it all set up.
Right.
I have never once had to deal with the setup because that's not my job.
That's how it is for most games, really. I don't know.
My job
Have you
is
had to
always,
set up a game?
my job is to be the good wife who makes everyone hot cocoa, homemade on the stove, and some cookies while Daddy gets the board game set up.
Yep.
I have happily set up Betrayal, okay?
Betrayal. And Azul.
And Azul, yes. That's about it. See, I gotta look at your board games over here to see like what I actually have set up.
Yeah.
Secret Hitler.
Yeah.
That's an easy setup. I'm proud of that one. Moving on. Pop-up pig and pop-up pirate.
Yep, that's it.
There it is.
Pop the pig and pop a pirate.
I did it.
Uno.
Oh yeah, Uno. That's on a board game.
So, speaking of children, we played this game with our kids back when Eli was 6. Right before,
probably even younger.
right before COVID hit, is when we bought this game and fell in love with it. The kids fell in love with it. And right before, so Friday the 13th of 2020, March 13th, 2020, that's when everything shut down. That same day, I ran out to a local hobby store called Biters to get a copy of this game for our brother-in-law, Ray, because we introduced it to him and Laura, and they fell in love with it, and Ray's birthday was coming up in just a few days. And I'm like, I hope they didn't close because of COVID, because everything shut down like 4 hours ago.
Yep.
So I'm like, nervous sweating as I'm driving into town, and fortunately they're still open. So I bought the last copy of the game, and I'm there at checkout, and and the little lady who was like checking me out, she's like, "Oh, what's this?"
She was checking you out?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That's right. And she's like, what's this? And so I explained it to her in 30 seconds when I was at the checkout line. And sure enough, all the other copies were gone the next time I was there. Because I went back like a couple days later before everyone else shut down. And all the other copies were gone. So they all like bought their own copies too, just based on my recommendation.
That's nice.
I hope they enjoyed
do
it.
like Biters. I
Yeah.
like shopping there.
So yeah, this is a great game again for the family, even young children.
It is
all
only
the
2
way
to 4
up.
players, though.
Only 2 to 4 players, like
Which is good for us, because Alex is too little. Sophie and Eli played with us.
Yes. So
I've also taken this to Sunday school, and Eric loved this game, too.
Mm-hmm.
Have we played this with Jack before? I don't think we have.
I don't think so. Dan has played.
Dan has played,
He
yeah.
really liked it. He played with Eli.
I'm trying to think, because Eli kept suggesting it to everybody who walked in the house, especially
Everyone.
over COVID.
Everyone.
This was the I forgot this was the COVID game. I forgot about that till now. We had to bring up that in depression.
But this was our shining light throughout a good portion of it.
Our shining light. Remember,
Children's
we
shining
had just
light.
had a baby, so I was exhausted from nursing a baby and teaching them all. I never get a maternity leave ever. By the way, side note, I don't care that I think it's important that our listeners know that we are human. So I want to make a little complaint. Every time we've had a baby, something has gone haywire, and I have not been able to enjoy maternity leave. It is not fair, that 3 weeks postpartum, I am holding a newborn, nursing him, while teaching 2 kids surrounding me, while you're upstairs teaching your kids virtual. It was awful. Me teaching elementary school, are you kidding me? It was torture. I'm not a little kid teacher. Sorry, back to the board game. Now I hate this game. Brought up some bad memories.
Wow. So what didn't work for you?
So, again, this setup, I think, is like the hardest part. Again, I don't have to do it, but just looking at that box, I'm just staring at it right now, thinking to myself, oh, good Lord. Like, that is painful.
That's something.
Like, I want to organize it, but I know that it's just going to get messed up because there's nowhere to put the tiles. Like, even Betrayal, there's a place to put the tiles. Azul, you put the stuff in the bag and the discs go in the little disc holder. There is nothing. There is no plastic insert. just all tossed in there. It drives me nuts. So that doesn't work for me. I actually love the gameplay. I don't have any issues with it. I think there's just enough competition and stress. This is like not Azul. This is not calming. This is you building your bear park, but knowing that there's only like maybe 5 pieces of this polyomino. So I'm gonna use that word all the time now. So like you got to get that one in before Eli steals it, because Eli will buy all of one kind just to make you angry, because that's the kind of kid he is. I'm so proud. So like that, I think there's just enough competition, and of course you just giggle the whole time. There's never any fighting over this.
No.
With everyone we play, again, like with Azul, it's chill. Like you're there, you can have a cuppa, have a popcorn, just kind of chill and play it and joke around and be like, oh yeah, of course you won, you cheater, whatever. There's no, it's not survive. This is just fun, in my opinion. My only other con, though, apart from the way the box looks on the inside, is the outside. I don't think it has held up like other box games that we've had. Like the corners are already starting to look a little rough. Like we've taken Azul everywhere. And yeah, sure, there's like some parts here on Azul that are not looking so great. But that box has really held up. This one is a little more rough.
That is very true. The box is showing its age more than most of our boxes do.
And it could be just the print on the box, too. There's not enough gloss on top to hold that paint down. But that's just an aesthetic thing,
Yep. Well, there are a lot of people that care about their boxes. They'll return games if the box has like a ripped corner or something like that.
Oh, she gonna get ripped. She gonna get ripped.
Yeah, the box is gonna end up looking pretty gross unless they changed it.
And we're really gentle with our boxes. I mean, you put your stuff on display down here, and even upstairs in the kids' board games, they're gentle with theirs too. We have their stacked correctly.
Yeah.
We really care about our board games in this house.
Yep.
Ironically. Since we throw cats around. Toby, come here.
So for me, what works is the simplicity of the gameplay added to the complex strategy. It's easy to learn, but all the different ways you can fill your board and everything is so nice. If you get this really satisfied when you're playing Tetris and you get like 3 lines or 4 lines at one time, then this is the kind of game for you, because it's the same kind of thing where you're just filling every single space in the best way possible, and it just feels really satisfying when you can perfectly fill your board and not have any empty spaces left over.
That's the trickiest part too, is making sure you do that.
Yeah. What didn't work for me, again, like you said, the insert, or lack of.
Just the prep.
For me, to show, for a game designer to truly show that they appreciate their game, I feel like an insert is one way that they do that. When they don't have an insert, it's like, yeah, we made a game, but we don't really care about the whole setup time or the player experience. We just care about the game.
The good news is, like, the pieces are a thick, cardboard or whatever, so they're not getting damaged in there. But if they were in any way chintzier, these would have been damaged because they're just flopping around.
Yeah, they would be bent.
You get those junky puzzle game. The puzzles, like, their pieces are coming apart already because they've been knocked around inside. These aren't doing that, so they're lucky. They're lucky, in my opinion.
Yeah, like you said, if they're any thinner, they probably would start to bend and get kinked and things like that, like a jigsaw piece would. My
other con, I would say, is from the gameplay. When you finish this game, you don't want to play it a second time. Like, you're good.
Yeah, it's a longer game.
Yeah. Azul, you want to play a second or third time because, not that it goes faster, but Azul is just more calming and you can enjoy it and enjoy the experience, and every time it's different. I feel like there's a lot of competition, a lot of setup, and when you're done building your board, you got to put it all back and rebuild.
Exactly.
It's not dumping all the pieces in a bag like you do for Azul. This, you got to put it all back in a pile the right way. Numbers from highest to lowest. Like, it's just...
Yeah, Azul is so easy to reset. Just easy.
Look at the box. I'm like, oh, I love playing it, but... PJ, I'm going to go make a cuppa. You get it all set up. Like, that's where I'm at. But apart from that, I have nothing else to say. Like, the kids love it. Mm-hmm. If Eli sees it, he's going to want to play it, so we got to hide it.
This is a great game. It's a little more expensive than Azul, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's
like
$35 range. I think a big part of it is because it's not sold in mass market stores like Target. You know, you have to go to a hobby store or something like that to get it.
Huh.
So I think that's a part of it.
I feel like I'm learning a lot on this podcast as I hang out with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm forced to listen to you when you talk about board games and we podcast.
You're welcome. But
Nice.
yeah, this is also a recommendation for sure. And lastly now,
a little bonus.
Just like a 2-minute review of the Magic Puzzle Company's puzzles. I completed the Happy Isles puzzle just yesterday, and it was really cool. It's annoying. Like, it was hard at first, because I'm not much of a jigsaw puzzle person. I almost backed them on Kickstarter, though, because they're called the Magic Puzzle Company, and they said that, you know, there's a magic trick that would happen when you completed the puzzle.
I thought it would light up.
I know. I'm sorry.
I don't know what I was
expecting. We could take a black
expecting.
light to it and see what happens, but
I don't think anything's going to happen. When you don't.
but
I'm just sad.
It's a difficult puzzle to do. It's 1,000 pieces, and there are. When I first started collecting all the edge pieces, because you know that's what you do with the jigsaw puzzle, I realized there are way too many edges.
I remember your face.
And I was like, why? Why are there too many edges? Why are there more edges than there are, like, border? And the game is in, like, sections. So, you build, like, you know, the bottom right corner, and that's its own section, and then this corner and that corner. And then, you know, they all, like, fit together to make this picture. So you can't just collect the edges and be done because there's so many edges. But once you figure out the puzzle and everything, and there is a really cool magic trick at the end. It also comes with like a little I Spy thing where it's like, you know, find the astronaut and find...
Oh, I didn't know that.
And there are 19 messages in a bottle that you can find. And,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and there's like, you know, there's a duck and there's
several, a duck.
Well, there are a couple ducks, but there's like there's a surprised duck, and there's a duck with a popsicle, and there's a duck with this.
Is there a duck with a corncob pipe?
No.
Trash.
So, and the artwork is really cool on it. So if you're a jigsaw puzzle person, I really suggest picking up something from the Magic Puzzle Company.
I love that we invited Lauren Ray over to watch the movie Nope like a week ago. And Laura goes, "Are you working on a puzzle?" "Yeah." "Can I work on it when we watch the movie?" Laura literally sat through the entirety of Nope and did this puzzle.
And that's a long movie, too.
Yeah, she's a jigsawer, so like, of course she was excited to help out. And she did a good job. Like, she got a good section of it done.
I will say, though, that she bought one of the Magic Puzzle Company's things, and she got duplicate pieces for... and then she also had missing pieces. Okay. So she couldn't complete the puzzle. Which stinks for her. Yeah. Aww. So maybe she'll borrow this one and get a positive experience out of it.
Yeah.
But that comes with any jigsaw puzzle. I've had a couple jigsaw puzzles that have had missing pieces. So it just happens sometimes. But yeah, if you want a good puzzle, if you like jigsaw puzzles, Magic Puzzle Company.
What we should do is do a poll for next time. Should we, because we've kind of mentioned a couple different board games here. Mm-hmm. Do they want us to do Catacombs or Dungeon Fighter, Clank, or Terror Meeple City?
Terror Meeple City. I love Terror Meeple. That is a setup.
And see, like, you want to
talk about setup.
Woo. But that one's worth it. I love that one. That one is not a calming game. That one is definitely going to
opposite.
Sophie and Eli cannot play that together. It is bad.
Oh, I want to point out that we're supposed to be doing Gloomhaven today, but like I said, both Dan and Jack are out of town.
Yep.
So we couldn't do that one today.
I have not played that game.
You would love that game. I guarantee you would like that game because it's...
You told me, is it anything like Baldur's Gate?
No.
Oh, I liked that one.
Well, that's Betrayal.
I know.
It's...
but with rats.
It's D&D in a box is what it is.
I know.
No, I mean
Gloomhaven. No. Is it like Charterstone?
No. It's closer to... Actually, Minecraft Dungeons. It's like that. You're going like room to room, killing bad guys and stuff, leveling up, getting stronger.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But it also is thinky like Azul, because you have to play the right cards at the right time and stuff and move around. It's It's easily my favorite board game.
I've seen you pull that box out, and it looks like you're lifting the Eiffel Tower. It looks so heavy.
And it's only 2/3 of the weight of the sequel that's coming.
That's insane.
The sequel's like 35 pounds.
I need to go take some more cold meds. I'm losing my voice now.
Yeah, we're losing you.
I'm dying slowly.
Good thing the conversation's dying.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll see you next week.
we've run out of things to say.
I had to sit across a table from you for over an hour, and it's
Has it
just
been over an hour? It's only been 43 minutes.
feels like so much more.
See, this is what I have to put up with. From my dear wife.
Your dear wife, who, while sick, got all this stuff ready for the Halloween party, baked 2 dozen cupcakes? I can't do math. Yes. And then decorated them, hand decorated, because that's the kind of person I am. And did all of my shopping. Got up at 3 o'clock this morning with the baby. I mean, I am a catch. I don't sound like a catch, but I'm a catch. And I worked a full day of work. I did not call off sick.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Oh, now you're going to cut me off. Oh, I see. I see how it is. Fine.
Oh, gee, look at the time.
Look at my wrist.
We've been talking for almost an hour.
So it's been too long. I can hear a complaint. So we have to do a poll.
Yes.
Are we going to do it on
the website? We are
starting
up a Facebook group.
Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay.
And I'll put the poll up on there. But also feel free to email us at gamesoboard@gmail.com.
Yeah, Games O Board, not Games Overboard.
Yeah, someone else took that name.
We will find you. And do nothing because I'm not scary.
Yep.
I'll just glare at you condescendingly.
And we'll shake your hand and tip the hat to you for taking
and ask
our name.
why you have that.
For your great taste in name. And, okay, so gamesoboard@gmail.com. You can also visit our website, gamesoverboard.com, where there's now a contact form where you can send us an email that way as well.
And soon we'll have a YouTube.
Yes, we have the channel, Games Overboard, and I'll be making a video shortly for it.
Ooh.
Yes. I would also like it to be about Gloomhaven because it's just my favorite game.
You're so obsessed.
Well, people are freaked out by the huge... It's a huge box.
It is
gigantic.
unnecessarily big, I feel.
Well, that's the thing. It's necessarily big. But...
No. That's a different recording. You cut me off. I'm cutting you off.
Okay.
Get off your high horse.
I'm just saying, I can dispel any intimidation that box causes.
Gamesoboard.
Gamesoboard@gmail.com.
YouTube soon. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for listening.